Let's see. 24-year-old, I have a 32-year-old acquaintance I want to bang, but she says she is insecure because she hasn't had anyone in a while. What should you do? Oh, I'm going to hold on to that question. All right. We're going to get to that question as soon as Dr. Nancy gets back on with me. Here she comes. Here she comes, along with Rants in a Pants. Hey there. Rants and Big Pants has joined too.
Hi.
Well, that was a disaster. Anyway, I couldn't find any questions, and I don't even know if the post ever came up. So we do have another question here from someone named Zigotina. I'm 24 years old. I have this 32-year-old acquaintance I want to bang, but she says she's insecure because she hasn't had anyone in a while. What should I do? How do I chill her out? And is it just a test game to see if I'm going to chicken out or something? I hope my acquaintance comes to. All right, so what do you do? Got any suggestions for Zigo?
Well, first of all, let me just say this about that.
What would you like to say about that?
Well,
I'm turning this up so everybody can.
Referring to a woman as somebody you want to bang.
Uh-oh. Look out. The guns are going to be coming out right now.
Is completely dehumanizing and sexualizing and disrespectful. So no wonder she doesn't want anything to do with you.
Well, she didn't say that. She's concerned that she hasn't done it in a while, and what should he do? So maybe listen to what she said. Nancy just said, let's not refer to her as someone you want to bang, but someone that you want to be with for multiple reasons, not the least of which is for her brain.
Right, because if she thinks that it's just a performance that you're looking for, a sexual performance, then of course she's going to be nervous. But if she thinks you care about her and want to please her and want to have an intimate experience with her, a shared experience, then that's much more of a turn on.
Well, how does he do that? How does he articulate that to her?
I think you can say things like, make her feel comfortable. You tell her what you like about her as a person, not what you want to do to her.
Got that, Zigo? Hope that helps. She does. Oh, he's saying she doesn't want a relationship, so bang is okay to use. I think it rubbed Nancy the wrong way. I think I'd like to even think of it as more like friends with benefits than someone I want to bang. I don't know. It's just the way the terminology kind of rubbed us both the wrong way.
It's a very aggressive term.
It's aggressive because it may make her very insecure. So
I had somebody the other day try to compliment me by telling, this is a total stranger, someone I have no idea who they are.
On social media?
Never had a conversation with them, and they referred to me as fuckable.
You're fuckable?
Yeah. And I was so offended by that.
Why?
Because it's rapey.
Oh.
It's just totally a rapey thing to say. Like, would you like to know whether I'd want to fuck you? I mean, it's like, I'm not a thing that you do something to.
I gotcha.
And so I think these terms really come across as rough and aggressive and rapey. I'm entitled to do what I want with your body, whether you're interested or not.
Because you're fuckable.
Yeah. It's like that.
Yeah.
That's what you think that way is really none of my business.
Right. Oh, so Ziggy said, I agree with you, Nancy. Didn't get me right away. We already sexted. So, okay. If you're at a point where you've already started that sexting, I mean, I remember that the days when I was like single and I was sexting, what are you wearing, that kind of thing. I mean, those are fun things to do, I guess. But you don't want to make it seem like, you're talking to her like she's some fuck doll, because go buy yourself a fuck doll if that's all you want. If you want an interactive experience, then get to know who you're dealing with there.
We have to be careful in how we address people that we want to be allowed into their most intimate space.
Right, because you might be involved with that person for life afterwards.
or if you want a flying chance, you should probably be respectful and as all the time, right? So start off on a high note and see where it goes. I mean,
it's not going to hurt you to be super kind and polite and respectful and curious about her. It's not going to hurt your chances with her. It's going to only help you. We got another question here from Plitowskis. Here it goes. How do you bring up the idea of eating a girl out?
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be, oh, somebody just said fuck you. Okay.
All right, I'm gonna stop and
that asshole gets blocked.
He is hidden now. You can no longer see our story. He's done. He's done ski.
Yeah.
If you guys swear at us and say rude comments, you're going to be blocked, and you will not be allowed to come on these wonderful, exciting extremes with us anymore.
Brian, anyway. I am barefoot.
He is barefoot.
Somebody asked me if I was wearing heels.
And guess who else is barefoot? Oh yeah, barefoot. Oh my God, my toes are filthy. Oh.
Watch me fall out of the chair.
We are both barefoot. Okay, in case you guys
are
not wondering.
Pregnant.
Not pregnant and not in the kitchen. You don't want me in the kitchen. Russell, you sent some DMs. You guys send them here with a little question thing at the bottom, because I just went to retrieve all my DMs and questions. I can't find anything, so I don't want to start.
Well, then we can't get DMs during the live. So
right. Yeah. I can get this little question at the bottom here though. So anyway, back to how do you get a girl to want you to eat her out? I think that's what the question was. Something like that, right? Is that the question?
Well, I think if you're being intimate with somebody, I mean, that isn't necessarily a conversation to have over drinks. But I think if you're being intimate with somebody and you're in a pleasing space with them, then you can say, you know, I would love to please you with my mouth, or I would love to taste you, or, you know,
Take notes from Dr. Nancy right now. I would love to taste you. Ooh,
yeah.
ooh.
And see what she says. If she's acts uncomfortable with that, then drop it. And then talk about it later. Like, you know, when I asked that, I mean, I really love to do that, and
usually women are receptive, but sometimes they're just, you know, they got through their head that it's too personal, and maybe you're just not ready yet. You know, just give it some time.
Well, and you know, she might be on her period. She might be just haven't showered all day. I mean, there's a lot of reasons that a woman would not be comfortable. You have to honor that. It's not, don't take it personally. It's generally that she's just not comfortable with her body in that way, and that may be too intimate at that time in your relationship. I mean, not everybody is that free in their body and their sexuality.
Right. Some people just, I know friends of mine who are not into it. I particularly love it, but not everyone is into it.
Well, not everybody's good at it.
That might be. If you have a bad experience, that sucks.
Yeah, so you really need to learn about a woman's sexual anatomy before you go down there. It's not a taco.
It's not a taco.
Don't eat it as a taco.
Don't eat it as a taco.
And
you guys are wondering, she's giving instructions of what not to do.
Yeah, get the book. She Comes First.
She Comes First. We interviewed him on our podcast, Ian Kerner's book.
And really learn to know how to navigate a woman's genitalia, because
once you become an expert at that, you're going to have women clamoring for you.
Yeah, it's a skill to have.
Thank you, Paul. I just want to start all over again and say Happy New Year to everyone, because I had to restart this podcast. I mean, this live stream on Instagram. I'm so happy that you're all joining us again. I hope things get better. So far, 2021 does not seem to be getting better, but maybe it'll be getting better soon. I'm just hoping things turn around. I don't want to get too political, but yeah, that was kind of scary yesterday. I don't know how you guys felt, but it was like, what the fuck is going on?
My God. I had one of my dear friends that lives on the East Coast text me and say, Are you watching what's happening to our country?
What is happening? What is happening? Anyway, let's get back to advice. Is it weird to have a fetish to taste breast milk as an adult?
No. There's no fetish that's weird. It's just,
right.
You just have to make sure that who you ask is somebody that you would feel comfortable with. And I think everybody's curious about what does breast milk taste like. I mean, it's a fascinating thing that our body knows how to do to prepare, create, and deliver this source of nutrition for an infant that's perfect for that baby.
Right.
I mean, I've been in healthcare for 40 years, and I was an OB nurse. I've had my own children, and it still fascinates the hell out of me. It's just, it's just miraculous. So yeah, I was curious what it tasted like when I was breastfeeding.
But I think the bigger picture is none of these kinks or fetishes or preferences or whatever you want the term is are bad unless there's something that's going to harm someone else. I mean, There's no good or bad. It's just whatever your thing is, whatever floats your boat. And it might just be a fantasy, and it may be something that you're just curious about, but it's all good. Sex is all good. It's all fun, and unless you're hurting someone and you're not being respectful of that other person, that's another story.
Right.
But,
and truly, anything you can think of or imagine or create in your mind
is a good thing. I think it's safe.
Yeah.
I was thinking about like all the different genres of porn. I mean, just because you're watching that stuff does not mean you want to do it.
Right. And I've actually counseled a lot of couples, especially older couples, and the women are really afraid that if they allow their spouse to share a fantasy about something, that they're going to be expected to do it.
Yeah. And that's not true either.
And I also think that has to come from the other person, to say, I just want to share this fantasy. I don't have the expectation that you do.
Do you like to share your fantasies, or do you like to keep them private?
That's a good question for everybody. Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Oh, I like to share them.
I think it's just some fantasies I like to keep private, and some fantasies I like to explore in, when I'm having sex and I'm role playing and stuff like that. But sometimes, and it might just be like 1 week I'm this way, 1 week I'm that. It just might, I've changed my mind like the wind.
So
I would like to hear how many of you guys like to keep your fantasies private, and how many do you?
Well, I also think that answer comes from how you've been treated when you've shared fantasies.
Yeah, you don't want, if you've been shamed or something, then you're not going to share your fantasy.
Right. So next question, is there a book you recommend for pleasing a man? And that one's fairly easy, just show up.
Oh, to please a man, she's kidding, of course. I guess pleasing each other, even as much as I like to recommend books and things like that to understand the human anatomy, the basic way, like if I was given a guy head and he liked it a certain way, the next guy may not like it that way. So it's all about how you talk about it and communicate about it. If you don't communicate and tell the person what you want, you have to be kind of a mind reader.
I mean, really, every person is like a new smorgasbord of possibilities.
A smorgasbord, a buffet.
A buffet.
An old country buffet.
Bliss. Yeah.
An important question I got here on TikTok. How long do you think it takes a giraffe to throw up? I've never been asked that question.
What was that? What was that?
How long do you think it takes a giraffe to throw up? I don't know. If Broken Bottle 9 is still here, would you like to tell us the answer to that question? And someone can Google it and tell us.
Is this a riddle? They must know the answer.
I feel like it's a riddle, or it's some sort of criticism, but I digress. We got a lot of shit going on here. I like to keep it private for my girlfriend, so this is about fantasies. So she isn't shamed or condemned for having multiple sex partners. What?
Say that again.
Brian says, I'm thinking this is regarding fantasies. I like to keep it private for my girlfriend, so she isn't shamed or condemned for having multiple sex I don't know. I don't know.
Is that a question?
I don't know. I don't know if there was a response to something else that we said or what. Never really had a fantasy, to be honest. Russell, you never had a fantasy. Allow yourself that fantasy. That is one of the greatest gifts, is that our human brain can fantasize, and it makes sex so much better. Even the thought of it is like, what, 90% of sex. So
I've been really surprised over my years of doing this job of how many women don't have fantasy. They've not allowed themselves.
Well, this is a guy. Russell, why? Russell,
that's unusual for a guy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Honest question from Black Mike 5. Is it disgraceful to find a new sexual partner very soon after breaking up with? And I mean, why is it disgraceful? I mean,
disrespectful,
disgraceful. Well, I don't know. That's a tough one to say. I mean, I don't believe it. I think anything you do, if you think thoughtfully about it, it's your own gut feeling, as if you feel like it's the right thing to do or not. Like when my husband passed away, you know, I waited a certain amount of time when I was grieving, but I certainly didn't sit there and worry about people's judgments about when it's acceptable for me to go out and meet new people. I think it's only what's in here that tells you what's appropriate or disgraceful or whatever.
So what's
OnlyFans? No. Buyer 77. The only person that has to see my body is my partner, or whatever I want to show off on the internet.
Right. So what is the real biz, the real boy, the real?
Yes, he's saying nope. Brian was in response to something else. Sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry. You know, because we have so many different questions and streams going at once, just remind me what the question was or where we were at. How do I date during COVID? Jeremiah, we've had that question come up so much. It is tough, but you can do a lot with Zooming and the FaceTiming and that kind of stuff. Or you can meet someone in a park, or, you know, walk around outside. Just keep social distance and keep your mask on, and, you know, maybe it works better that way. We don't know.
I mean, I think it's forcing people to get to know each other a little bit first before they jump into the sack.
Totally.
You know, that article I wrote, the hormonal beer goggles, would speak to that, in that once you have sex with somebody, or you have an orgasm with them, it shifts your brain chemistry, and it's like hormonal beer goggles.
Yeah. And then
you gotta wait things that you probably shouldn't be overlooking.
Right. I think it does. I always talk about the trimester theory of the first trimester, you're just, you know, in that la la land, you know, and the second trimester, you're figuring out what's, you know, what things you all of a sudden, you're like a whack-a-mole. You'll see these things popping up, little red flags. If you can get through that part, you get to the third trimester, then you might be able to decide if this is the person for you or not. Yeah. So that's the way I look at it. So your first trimester can last a little bit longer if you would wait before you even jump into bed with someone. So sometimes COVID could actually be a good thing to slow the process down and get to know the person.
I want to hear you answer this one, Karen.
Yes.
It was, where'd it go?
About the OnlyFans?
No.
Is it this stuff here? 20-year-old love older women. Do you think I'm too young to love either woman 2 times my? I don't know what this. Is that it? No.
No, there was one. I'll find it in a second here. Something's happened with my computer. I don't know what's going on.
Cancel. Okay. Anyway, so as far as that goes, we don't sit and judge you. You know, if you found someone in a certain age group and then you guys clicked, I don't think it matters what the age difference is, younger or old or whatever. I mean, how do I meet women during COVID? Okay, so Jeremiah, we are assuming that you have ways to meet people. You're right. So I would say there's a lot of online dating that you can join up and just do them all. A lot of them are free, you know. Just go and try a bunch of them, you know.
did you see this one? I need advice. If you're in love with someone, but your family doesn't like, but their family doesn't like you.
Oh, what do you do?
Does not like. Does not like.
I understand what he's saying. He needs advice because he's saying, what happens if you like someone, but their family doesn't like you, or maybe your family doesn't like them. And you know what I say about that? Fuck them all. You're an adult. Don't worry about people's opinions about your. The only time I say it does matter is if you have kids. You don't want to throw a new person into your kids' lives without, making sure that there is a reason to do that. But or even I guess if you don't want to, you don't need to share them with people unless you know that this is the person you want to be with for a little bit. And then if people can't accept your decisions, and you're worried about what they're going to think, like your parents or something like that, then you're not an adult.
Well, I would have a conversation with them. If you have a family of people that you trust, and they're generally just kind, honest, and supportive of you, and all of a sudden they don't like somebody that you like, sit down and have a conversation with them. Hear them out. At least hear them out.
Hear them out, yeah, because there might be a good reason for them not to like if they,
Because sometimes the people around you who really do love you and know you see things that maybe you can't see, especially if you've had sex with somebody and you've got those hormonal beer goggles on. So, I know, just take a moment and go, okay, well, let me just hear them out without, just do what I create is like the oasis. Just say, I would love to hear your thoughts about my relationship with this person, and give them, and just say, I'm going to give you 5 minutes just to share what you're going to share. And all I'm going to do is say, thank you for sharing that with me, and walk away. Take that information away and digest it and see
that's a good call. I mean, I guess that applies to everything, if someone says, I have some advice for you, but do you want to receive it? And you say yes, and sit down and listen to what that advice is. Or something that they want to share. But if they're just judging it based on something like, oh, I don't like you being with a Mexican woman, or I don't like you being with a younger guy, or I don't like you being with an older guy, or a fat guy, or a thin guy, I don't think you need to take their opinions to heart, unless it's something like,
because those are just opinions, like a-holes we all have, right?
So there has to be a damn good reason for this person to say, well, I don't like you to be with this person, because that's not trusting your own judgment.
They might be seeing them treat you in a certain way that they find very disrespectful, but because of your hormonal beer goggles, you're looking past that.
Or maybe the other way around. It could be that they're seeing something that isn't there. Maybe the way that that the person is treating you happens to be just the way you are together, the way you joke around together or something. I don't like to give people too much power over my own decisions.
It's not about giving them power at all. You're not asking them to make a decision for you. You're just asking them for their insight, and then say, I'm going to take that insight and I'm going to go away and I'm going to process it. Please don't attach to you aren't deciding for me. I'm going to decide, but I love you and I respect you enough to hear you out. That's all I'm going to do is listen. I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to do with it. And if I choose this person, I need your support.
What if they never even met this person?
Well, then
they're just
they can't
facing
have
it.
an opinion.
Right. So I think that I'm not sure, but I think that happens pretty often, especially when it's like a younger guy with an older woman, that immediately the family members or the friends are going to have judgments. I wrote a lot about that in my book, this book and this book, especially this book, What Games Day Cougars. Whole chapters about like other people's opinions just based on the fucking numbers, and it's stupid.
Thank you to the people that are saying nice things. We appreciate that.
Good night, ladies. Got to get up at 2 a.m. for meditation.
Nice.
You two are gorgeous. That's so sweet.
Very sweet.
Family isn't spit to my own happiness. Okay, there you go, Joe. I'm glad you say that. Okay. Unless they do, like you said, like sometimes they may see something that you don't see, and they give you their opinion, and you can decide, hey, this opinion matters. Maybe I'm going to look into it further, or maybe you could say, hey, you totally didn't catch the nuance of this person, and let me explain it to you.
Right.
But usually, I would hope that it comes from a good place. It may grow into hate if they see it still may work for you and still find you disrespectful or still having them around.
Now say that again.
Well, see, Joe is saying that may grow into hate if they see it still may work for you and still find you disrespectful for still having them around. So in other words, if you didn't listen to what they said and you still kept with this person,
right?
Is it disrespectful?
What I would say is that they have a toxic relationship with your family, not the new person.
Right.
Because any family that would put their happiness above your own and be able to think that they can decide for you the journey you need to take on any level, whether it's work or love or when to have children or never have children or any of those decisions that are adult decisions. If they can't respect your decision and love you because you're carving your own path, then they aren't really healthy emotionally people.
Right. And you got to work that out with them. Right.
So then you have to learn how to create boundaries that you don't feel guilty for.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Brady, how are you? What are some tips on eliminating assumptions in terms of dating? Eliminating assumptions. I don't know what that means. Do you?
Well, I mean, for you to eliminate the assumptions, assumptions are judgments.
Right.
And so if you find yourself being a very judgmental person.
No, I think the other way around.
Well, you can't control what other people think.
And don't give a fuck either.
Right.
Be like me and Dr. Nan. Don't give a shit.
So remember this mantra. What other people think of me is none of my business.
I love it. We'd almost say it every week.
Yeah.
I'm going to put it down here in the YouTube comments. And it's what other people think is
none of my business.
None of my business.
What other people think of me is none of my business.
Oh.
Yeah.
Think of me.
Because if we're trying to please other people all the time, we will always fail. Miserable. Hey, Timothy, we'd always be miserable.
Oh, so, I pinned it to the top here so everybody could see it. What other people think of me is none of my business. If you guys like that, let me know. Dude is just using big words, not trying to be a prick. Who is the dude?
Well, if you're being critical of somebody, you are being a prick. So don't.
Yeah, let's see it. Brady's saying assumptions like I keep thinking too many girls are looking for a white knight trying type of guy while it's carrying drama.
So this is your assumption about women. So if you have judgment about women, then that's something you have to work on, letting go of your judgment. If you keep finding women that match your judgment, then if you're putting that out in the universe. If you think all women are going to be, what did you call it? Looking for a white knight, then those are the women that you're going to be drawn to, that are looking for somebody to save them. There are both men and women out there looking for somebody to save them.
Don't save anybody, guys.
It's not your job.
It's not your job. Save yourself. Yeah. All right. So for YouTube people here, let's see. How do you approach a cougar at a store that keeps looking at you? So if you're at freaking Target and some girl keeps looking at you, how do you approach her?
You write your phone number down on a piece of paper.
I like this.
Or you have little business cards already pre-made with just your name and a phone number or an email or whatever you want. And you walk up to her and you say, I keep catching eyes with you and I'm fascinated.
I like that.
You got my heart. Doing a little pitter-patter thing here. And here's my number. And if you'd like to meet for a cup of coffee sometime or just call for a chat to see if there's something else here, please give me a call.
I love that, and I've done that.
Yeah.
I have never done it in a Target, But I
a
certainly
genuine invitation is always going to be received sweetly, you know?
they're not
If
going to say fuck you. They may not call you, but
right,
it's never
right.
going to hurt you to try.
And you're
You're
not
going to
asking for their number.
right. You're just
Right.
saying if you want to call me, here's my
Right.
card.
Put,
And Joe
put
is
the
right.
ball in her
Nobody
court.
really does the business cards anymore. So, I've done this where I saw a really attractive guy at a bar, and this is obviously prior COVID. And I wrote down my name and my phone number, and I talked to the guy for a little bit, and I said, and he was waiting for a date, and the date was coming soon, and whatever. I said, I know you're gonna have a date. Here's my number and name. If the date doesn't work out, give me a call. And sure enough, he called.
Yeah, so somebody just said you would ask for her phone. Don't ask for her phone because that's presumptuous.
No,
Maybe,
don't ask for the phone number. It makes people awkward, especially if you haven't had a conversation and you're just locking eyes. Don't ask for the
I
phone
mean,
number.
I
That's
guess if
creepy.
yeah, because she doesn't know you're going to walk away with her phone. I mean,
Well,
women
she
are
doesn't know if you are some stalker or something.
right.
It's up to her.
Women are going to we have to be more protective than that. And
I was going to say that, yeah.
understand.
You don't
Yeah.
understand. Women are, especially these days, with all this
Yeah.
stuff that's going around, we're very reticent to, just trust someone with our phone numbers,
Yeah.
because you don't want a stalker, you don't want problems if you don't know who this person is.
Right. I mean, listen, if men knew how women were raised and how women were talked to as children, we are taught to not trust men.
Mr. Stranger Danger.
Yeah. We are taught that men are going to hurt us. We are taught from the time we're little tiny girls.
And if we're not, we're going to get hurt. So
right. And who typically hurts women? It's men.
Because they're stronger and bigger.
Well, and
except in your case, which I wouldn't worry about Nancy.
Well,
no,
I have to get hurt a lot first.
Track. When we call anybody a cougar, it's a confident, older, unique, genuine, assertive, and racy woman. I'm just trying to talk about an older woman who's got her shit together. That's all. We're not saying she's a sex worker. I just wanted to clarify that for this guy. Tell me, intimacy lingerie for dating, ? What do you want to know about the lingerie for dating? I'll tell you one thing, if you're a guy, what I'd like. Hey, Megan.
Happy New Year, Albert.
If you're a guy, make sure that your boxers, briefs, tidy whities, whatever they are in good top-notch condition. Let me just say, there's nothing worse than seeing some fucking stained-ass underwear, okay? No sharding underwear, no holy underwear. No, I don't want to see that. And if you're taking someone back to your place, make sure that place is cleaned up and impeccable, okay? I'm just saying that if I'm going to someone else's house, I don't want to be grossed out before I walk in the door. And if I see those holy-ass, dirty-ass, stained boxers, I'm going to not want to be intimate with you because that's how you treat your belongings. Not a good thing. What do you guys think about that? What do you girls think about that? Megan, what do you think about that? Hush, hush. I'm very happy with my husband, enjoying an open marriage relationship, but I'm scared she's scared about something. Unfortunately, I can't see what this says at the bottom of this thing. I'm scared no. Hush, hush, right what the rest of that was. It only gives me a couple little lines, and then that goes for males and females. Joe, yes. Definitely yes. Women. Yes. Women. No period stained underpants, please. Try to look sexy underneath the garments there. I mean, very important. I never really thought about how important it is to me, but I am very, when I was single, put it this way, if a guy did not have nice teeth, I mean, not talking, you don't have to be perfect white or whatever, but if they were like not clean and there's shit in their teeth or they're missing teeth and it's just, I want to kiss someone that, takes care of themselves.
So my daughter, when she was single, she had the best stories. And so one of the stories she told us was about this guy that she went on a date with, and he had like just a little soul patch. And so they were eating and food kept getting caught in there and staying on there. And she says, I'm sorry, but I couldn't date him again. So we called him Soul Patch Snack Pack.
Yeah, that could come in handy if she was hungry later on.
Like, if he's got a long tongue, he could just look down there and grab a little snack.
Like, if you're going to be intimate with someone, you do not want to be grossed out. It's literally, I mean, and I'm not a superficial person. You don't have to be like, in model condition to be with me, but I definitely want clean and neat and tasteful. Oh, females believe it. I should hold on to old panties. They smell good. What the fuck? Okay. It goes for males and females for sure. Okay, so where were we? I just want to go back to saying Happy New Year to everybody.
Yes, and Happy New Year, Norman. Thank you.
Yeah, and I'm right now, if you just joined us, I'm Karenlee. I host a podcast called Sex Talk with My Mom. I host a YouTube channel since 2012, just about dating, sex, love, relationships, porn stars, cougars, you name it. I talked about it. I got Nancy. She's been on my podcast, on my YouTube channel. She's got so much going on. Her resume is 1,000 feet long. She counsels
1,000 years long.
She's 1,000. We're both 1,000 years old, but feel like we're not. Yeah, I think we have like a inner spirit that's much younger than typical women that are in their 60s. Because I'm in their 60s, and yeah, I'm glad you're laughing, Mr. McCaskill. Anybody else want to talk about funny stuff? Let's just get us started. Would you get with a 19-year-old? I'll be honest there, Sid Vicious. Nah. I don't know. There's something about under 21 with me. So 19 is still a child. Sorry. But, I'm sure there's younger girls in there.
This is a cab, Norman.
All right, what kind of wine do we got? So this is Wild Women with Wine. And I thought this was going to be a Pinot Noir, Scott Kelly, from Naked Wines. And it's a Pinot Gris. And you know what? Cheers.
I like Pinot Grigio.
Pinot Gris, everyone.
Yeah.
Pinot Gris, Scott Kelly. This is Naked Wines. We got. If anybody knows anybody at Naked Wines, tell them they want to sponsor Wild Women with Wine every Thursday night. We come on here every Thursday. We share our stories, personal and thoughts and opinions. Some of them warranted, some of them unwarranted. We'll kick you the fuck out if you say any negative.
Yeah, neither of us are shy about speaking our truth.
Exactly. If you are mean to us, you will be kicked off.
Yeah.
I am glad that you're laughing out loud, because that's my job in life, is to make people laugh. Especially right now. Happy New Year to Megan, the blue-haired girl. And let's see, is it weird to be friends with your brother's exes? We don't think there's anything wrong with being friends with anybody.
I mean, how does your brother feel about it?
What his relationship with her? It's just important that it's going to be to talk about it with him. Okay, McCaskill's drinking rosé. I'm almost in my 50s and I'm looking for a younger woman for a relationship. Thank you for sharing. My New Year's resolution is to apply porn positions into real sex because porn movies are real. LOL. Okay. Good luck with that. How do I ask this question?
Real?
I don't know. I could tell you one thing from the people I know that have been in porn. It is not educational. It is entertainment, and that's about it.
Yeah,
and it's mainly geared towards men, except if you look at Erica Lust or some of the other people that are.
If you think that's how your sex is going to be, if you've watched porn, you're going to be really disappointed or arrested.
Yeah. If you think that all women want to have a baseball bat shoved up their pussy, forget about it.
Not happening. Yeah.
It's not happening.
Who do you know in porn? It's easier to ask who, don't we know?
This is true. I mean, over the last several years, I've met, interviewed, and became friends with quite a few different people in the adult entertainment industry, men and women.
Isn't it weird how people who do porn are really cool people?
They are really cool people. I'm not saying that, people should go out and become porn stars to be cool, but the people that I know that are porn stars tend to be really open, and I like that about that, because we're both very open. I think that's what makes us, we're genuine, and I think most of the people that I've met in the adult industry are not. I'm not talking about the young girls that just start. Some of them are not, doing it for the reasons that, other than they want money or whatever. Anyway, you all know Lisa Ann. Yeah, I met her. Let's see. She's not one of my friends. I was only joking about the porn part. Okay, thank you all. All right, so we're running out of time soon. We got about 15 minutes left. So if you've got some questions, lay it on us.
It looks like Hush has a question. She said check questions. Was there one up a little higher that we needed to address with her?
Oh, maybe. Yes, Sarah J is one of my friends. I really like her. She's awesome. She's been on my podcast and she's been on my YouTube channel, and I suggest go check out Sarah J. She has her own production company. I like she as a woman-owned business owner. I like that about her. She's inclusive. She's amazing. She's funny. Let's see. I'm being legit. Most women, don't want a long-term in life. I'm having an affair with someone's wife, and how we get together is her husband never showed her attention she needs. Okay. So that's what you're doing. Okay.
So we're looking for Hush Hush's question. Somebody else has asked.
Oh, Hush Hush's question. Oh, it's right here. It was, I'm very happy with my husband, enjoying an open marriage relationship, but I'm scared. And then it got cut off. So I don't know what to do.
So we can't answer your question because we didn't get the rest of it. So
yes. Happy New Year to you, War Golonero, and thank you for saying we are amazing. Amazing is always a good adjective.
And blue-haired girl, that's Megan, right?
Yes.
There is a lot more porn that's being made by women for women. If you look up feminist porn, there's.
Erica Lust.
I had a list
on our podcast.
I had a list of over 100 directors, producers of female-centric porn. So there is a lot more now being made for women and couples, and most of the porn companies create kind of both. The male masturbation porn, and then female, and then couple. So keep searching because there's some really kind of fun stuff out there.
Keep searching. Sarah J.
It's fun homework.
Hook me up with Sarah J. Love her big ass. No, I will not do that. How do y'all feel about Aquarius? I feel really good about it. We're both Libras. We're both air signs, obviously. And as far as the age of Aquarius that we're entering into, I'm hoping that we're going to start thinking about other people. That's most Aquarians think about others. And that's the age we're in. And I think we're going to need that more than ever right now. And that's about all I'm going to say. By the way, I didn't tell you this, Nancy. I'm training myself to learn how to read tarot cards. So if anybody has any, I'm calling Megan would. Anybody have any suggestions as what's the best way to teach you how to read tarot cards? Let me know that.
That's cool. So Hush said, Hush.
Oh, did you find out what you wanted?
We saw your question. It was cut off. We couldn't read the whole thing. So if you could repost it within the next couple of minutes, we'll address it.
Exactly. Question from CFox45. Would you suggest sliding into an older woman's DM, or is a no bueno? First of all, it doesn't matter if you're older, younger, whatever. Sliding into their DM and just saying something about what you like, I would think it's okay if you said something engaging about what they spoke about, or what they thought, or maybe they put up a post that really resonated to you. Just because she doesn't write back does not mean that she doesn't care about what you said or that she's not interested. Like myself, I'm super busy and I got a lot of DMs and I don't have time sometimes to go back. But if you start to get to know the person, come on our streams, live stream, and we get to know you better, then if I see a DM from you, I might answer it. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, one of the frustrating ones for me is when somebody slides into my DM and says, "Hey."
That's what I'm saying. Who wants that? Who needs someone saying "Hey" to you? Hey, as my mother would say, is for horses.
But the one that kills me is the one that comes in and says, "So tell me everything about you." I'm like,
yeah, okay.
I said, well, you know, I have written a lot of it on my page, and I've written a lot of it out on my website. So if you're interested, go look there. And if you have questions, come back.
Yeah, and if you have other, you know, honestly, a real good way to get to know both of us would be good, and other people too, I'm sure. We have Patreon pages, patreon.com/Karenlee, patreon.com/Dr. Nancy. If you go to those pages and join us, we're much more likely to give you our opinions, advice, comments, show you what's going on personally in our lives. So that's a real good way to support us and yet get to know us better too. So that's a good idea for you guys. Back to Megan, the blue-haired girl. How would you find porn that's geared towards women? Go to Erica Lust.
Google, Erica Lust, but just Google feminist porn.
Yeah, I would say Erica because she is a woman, and women, I would think, tend to lean towards.
She submitted a film to my film festival, and it was the Cabaret Desire. Very sexy film.
Yeah. I interviewed her and her husband, and they're really smart, sweet people. Very much like, so anything by Erica Lust is good.
Yeah. So Brady just mentioned my little photo shoot that I put on my Patreon.
Oh, so, did you put a little photo shoot?
We did. We had a little spontaneous New Year's Day photo shoot. I don't know if you've seen any of the pictures.
Oh, of course I did.
Of course you did.
Dr. Nancy is much more revealing than I am in her Patreon page pictures. But I put in bold, no nudes in mine.
Well, what's hysterical is that photo shoot showed absolutely nothing. But thigh.
It's sexual. I mean, it's sensual.
Yeah, it's you know, what I find in my style of photographing is if a person has to bump their nose against the screen to try to see more, I've accomplished my goal.
Okay, so she's basically saying she's a tease.
Yes. But to me, that's what erotica is that that it inspires the imagination. So for people that don't have good imaginations, look for things that inspire your imagination rather than fill in all the blanks for you.
Well, Chance Bag says, I watch your YouTube videos faithfully every night before I go to bed. So apparently, if you're doing that, you're getting some benefit out of me speaking about sex, maybe. I don't know. Faithfully every night before you go to bed, I'm using my imagination on that one.
I think maybe you put him to sleep?
Am I giving you a bedtime story?
Are you knocking him out?
Here we go. Should everyone experience squirting at least one time? I have heard most women wish to experience that. You know what? I have squirted.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that.
It's not the be all and end all that, you know, I mean, some people enjoy it. I don't think it needs to be a goal of you to get someone to squirt or help them squirt. It tends to get messy. You need a fuck blanket for that. I don't know what to say.
It's not an orgasm.
It's not the same. It's not the same as
squirting is it's like you can ejaculation and orgasm are two separate things.
For a woman
and a man.
Oh yeah, what am I saying? Yeah.
Yeah. So they're two separate actions and behaviors and experiences. Because you can have, like, men can learn how to have multiple orgasms and never ejaculate.
Gotcha. Nancy, Brady is saying he wanted to give you a tip for the last photo shoot, and he didn't know where to put it. You can always add more money on Patreon. That's very easy to do.
How do you do that?
I think that you can just make a one-time donation. It's on Patreon, or go to your.
I do have a donation on my website on drnsp.com. If you go to payment options, there's a donation one.
Got it. Yeah, you can, on your website, there's ways to donate money.
Yeah.
For me, I have a Cash App. It's Karenlee Poter, I think. I think, yeah, then you can Venmo us.
Yeah.
If you want to find a way to tip us, there's a way to tip us. People have made it the point where they think if squirting didn't happen, then it wasn't done right, unfortunately. Yeah, Pete, I don't think that's anybody's lifelong aspiration, and I think if you go down on a woman, you know what you're doing. That's really much more important than whether or not you can make her squirt.
What matters most is if whatever you're doing brings her pleasure. Doesn't matter what the end result is.
Just talk to the person.
Yeah.
It really helps.
I
I'm
mean,
24. How do I get an older woman like you? Chap God Sherrod. You won't be getting, you might get someone like me, but not me. But the main thing that you want to do is just find a way to have a friendship first. Find some sort of connection. Okay, here we go. I was looking forward to your answer to your question. So someone is upset about Hush. Where is the question? Why can't
you
we
didn't
find
get
it?
your question. You keep saying that, and we can't read your question.
We can't find it, and I'm sorry that we can't find it. But if you just write it one more time, sorry. It comes from the G spot, right? You know what? Go to Sex Talk with My Mom. Search Nancy Sutton Pierce, I believe. Dr. Nancy Sutton Pierce. She talks about squirting on the podcast for sure. So you can find out more information about squirting there. She gives in-depth discussion about it. If I remember correctly, we had a dedicated episode about that with you.
Yes, we do.
So you got to go to Sex Talk with My Mom to find that. We're running out of time. Instagram's going to cut us off any second. Thank you for all your input and fun talk. And hi, hostile MGTOW to you. Scroll up. We're not going to have time for that. DM it on this form. Yeah, you can DM us. You can find us on Patreon, patreon.com/sex talk. Sorry, patreon.com/Karenlee, patreon.com/Dr. Nancy. You will be able to talk to us about any of these questions that we didn't get to. Hush Hush, that's a good place to find us. What else?
And thank you to all my new patrons.
Yeah.
That's huge. It's so inspiring. It's got me doing these photo shoots and thinking about my patrons and you know, wanting to know more about what it is that I do that inspires them so that I can do more of it.
Yeah. So if you want to join Patreon, you know how to do it. A lot of creators are putting their intimate stuff on Patreon, and sometimes I'll just put up like a quick little, it's called Lens. It's a little picture of me just goofing around at home or sharing some of the stuff that's hard to find, you know, my TikTok videos, things like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you're on TikTok, thank you for joining me here. Please follow me here on TikTok.
Well, Patreon isn't an OnlyFans page. It's really to support people's creativity. So Karen and I both are writers. We're both producers. We both are content creators. We're both educators.
Podcasters.
Yeah. So we have we're doing.
We have a lot going on, and we're pretty much doing it for really cheap.
Really cheap.
Yeah, sorry you're too late to mess with me tonight, Hostile MGTOW. We take a lot of shit from people like Hostile MGTOW, you know. Yeah. So is 7 the perfect size? Unfortunately, if you had said that earlier, I would have made you give me $10, Sid Vicious. Yeah, it's $10 right now if everybody asks me questions about the penis size, because I'm not going to go there. Wait, your Patreon is not a dating app? Yeah. Sorry, Brady, not dating app today. Anyway, we are here every Thursday night, except for New Year's Eve. We didn't make it, but we will in the near future be having more live streams every Thursday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m.
And I think we should plan. I think we should plan a Zoom group again.
If you guys are interested, before we plan it, I want to make sure that people are going to participate. So if you're going to participate, Somehow, I don't know which platform is the best way to communicate with us. But maybe
Well, since they're, yeah.
if you're on Instagram, yeah, let us know
whichever one you're on.
If you're on Instagram, yeah, definitely slide into one of our DMs and tell us that you're interested in joining the Zoom chat that we're going to be doing just for Zoom members only. That's it. Anyway, I love you.
I miss you.
I miss you too. We're going to have to get together at some point, you know, as soon as we get that vaccine. Hopefully you're going to get a vaccine.
Mark gets his second one tomorrow.
Oh, he's so lucky. I'm so glad he's doing that.
I'm jealous. I have vaccine envy.
I got vaccine envy too. You know, a penis envy, we got vaccine envy. Anyway.
I have COVID envy. I mean, people that have already had it know how they're going to get it. I'm envious of having that behind them.
My friend has still got long-term effects from it. You don't want it.
No, I don't want it. I don't want it, and I don't want it that way. But the people that got a mild case and are over it.
Well, you can't pick the way you get COVID.
I know. You can't pick your penis size either, but people have penis envy. So it's like envy has nothing to do with reality.
Do you hear this? All right. So I'm envious of the people that have gotten COVID and have had no symptoms, but did not infect anybody.
Yes.
I hear you. I hear you all. Anyway, you guys, I'm going to hang up on all you guys because I don't want to hate when they hang up on me. You know, it gets me so mad. One can also get COVID again, so there's that. He's got a point. Pete, we're right. We don't know if it's a one-time only thing. You know,
it's pretty much. I mean, there's just like two people that have had it more than once. So
yeah,
and we don't know for sure that that's the case. So it's still looking pretty good.
I think, as you know, you're famous Wild Women with Wine. You guys should let us know if you can get us the vaccine. That's all. Just let us know. Tell us how to do it. Maybe they have some secrets that we don't know about. You know, I got people from all over the world here. Tell us how to do it. Get us that backdoor undercover vaccine.
Yeah, I'm thinking about all kinds of different kind of injections we can get.
Thank you for telling me that your penis is huge. Hostile McDowell. Now you got to donate $10 too. Yeah. Thank you anyway.
Tell them to put down that mirror that says everything looks bigger when the mirror.
You mean, yeah, are you looking in your rear view mirror? Is that what's going on there? And by the way, bigger is not better, okay? I just want to go out there and say that one more time in case you guys aren't listening. Bigger ain't better, okay?
There's something to be said for shape, though.
Now she's talking girth, okay? All right. If you want to find Dr. Nancy Sutton Pierce, she's got Instagram, she's got Facebook. I, of course, don't have Facebook because my Facebook has been blocked because I mentioned the word sex.
You and Trump?
Me and Trump, we're both blocked. I got something with the orange face pumpkin head. I can't believe it. I have been repeatedly blocked from Facebook because I said a video on five ways to have wild sex. That's it.
Wow.
Very horrible thing that I did.
And they probably, the people that blocked you probably watched it a dozen times down.
Oh, those people are watching it every night before they go to bed. Well, now they can't see it on Facebook. You could still see it on YouTube. YouTube, I'm still there. Jerks. YouTube, TikTok is like right now my current favorite platform. That's because it's fun. And then I got Instagram and with you guys, and I'm happy here too. But we got 1 minute remaining, so sorry. I didn't ignore you, hush hush. We just couldn't find it. Promise that if you send us whatever the remaining question is, we'll figure out a way to get you their answer. Okay? Bye.
Love you.
Love you.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to everyone. Bye.